I completely changed the way I create my goals because of one question and these three people. That question was, are my goals based on what I want to achieve, or are they based on what I want others to see me achieve? This one question made me realize three things. Most of my goals were based off of what I seen other people achieve or deemed as successful. When I said certain goals out loud, I literally got an energetic and emotional response to them. And that response wasn't always positive. And lastly, my goals have changed as I've gained more experience and different perspectives, aka I got older. Now, before I explain what these three people have to do with why I changed the way I create my goals, I want to make one thing clear. I think it's super important to learn from other people's perspectives and experiences. However, I think it's even more important to recognize what resonates with you and what doesn't. Since making this change, I'm proud to say that I have accomplished 85% to, I would say 90% of my goals, but more importantly, I feel good about them. Okay, so these three people right here, they each have a podcast. And while consuming and learning from it, I was able to fuse together a simple, easy way to lay out my goals where I can physically see them and also mentally understand them. Let's talk about the layout. The first part of the layout, I call it the dream stage. Now this is where I actually create the goals. This takes time because I actually sit down and reflect on these goals to make sure I truly want to pursue them and they're truly my own desires. Now, if I decide to pursue these goals, I ask myself another question, which is simply why? Quick little inside thing, in this dream stage, I don't judge myself at all. I let my mind go crazy, wild, and let everything just happen just to see what comes out of it. Okay, boom. After I decide on my goals, I move on to the second stage, which I call the planning stage. I start by laying out three categories: health, career, relationships. Then under each category, I have subcategories. So under health, I would put body, mind, soul. Under career, I would put mission, money, growth. And lastly, under relationships, I would put romance, friends, family. Now this makes everything super easy for me because I can see it laid out and broken down. Okay, so still within the planning stage, I move on to filling out each of these subcategories. Now it's important for me in this part that I write specific and measurable things here. So under the health category, one of your goals might be to lose weight and get leaner. This will go into the subcategory of body. Now, when I write specifics or measurable things in these subcategories, I personally try not to have more than 5 because I don't want to overwhelm myself. But I would write things like, I want to strength train 3 times a week on these specific days at this time. I want to lose X amount of weight by the end of the year. And then from a nutrition standpoint, I would just say, I want to eat certain types of foods to help fuel my body and help me in this process. For example, eat more protein. Now, after I do this for all the categories, I move on to the last stage, which is called the action stage. This is where I set up my daily, weekly, and monthly calendar. For example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday are blocked off for my fitness. Tuesdays and Thursdays are blocked off, for example, filming. You get the point. I like to do this action plan for about 12 weeks, which is 3 months, or for you business people, that is quarterly. And at the end, I like to review to see if I need to tweak anything, or if I achieve some goals already, do I need to make some changes? So in the past, when I found myself messing up on goals day to day, I realized a simple thing as writing a to-do list the night before was the thing I needed to help me remember what I had to do the next day. I try not to put more than 5 things on my to-do list. Now let's be real here, life happens. You're gonna have mood changes, distractions, lack of motivation, and sometimes you're gonna mess up your schedule. That's when I remember these 3 things. The 2-day rule. Basically, if you mess up, try not to mess up 2 days in a row, and if you do, just hop back on track where you fell off. I remind myself that this is my journey, so regardless if I achieve a goal or not, it doesn't matter. It's fun for me to pursue something that I truly care about. And lastly, rewards. So if I have a really good day, a really good week, a really good month, a really good 12 weeks, I'm gonna reward myself. I'm gonna congratulate myself. I'm going to celebrate me. Now, before you go, I wanna share this quote with you real quick. You're never too old to set new goals or dream a new dream.
Sorry, I'm busy.